What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So there's been a lot of news lately, especially with the release of the trailer for Predator Badlands. If you haven't seen that trailer, I'd recommend go checking it out. We did do a review reaction of it, and there was quite the Easter egg in it. I believe it's at the 26-second or 28 mark. If you haven't seen the trailer, I won't. Well, it's been out there by now, so I guess we're just gonna go ahead and spoil it. So go to that mark in the trailer again. I think it's 26 seconds or 28 seconds, and you're going to see, if you look closely at the individual that's on the screen, look at their eyes once they get done blinking, and you're going to see the Weyland-Yutani Corporation logo in their eyes, which then leads us to finding out that this is a synthetic person, which then leads us down the path of the Alien franchise, or the Alien Xenomorph, whatever you want to call it, is happening within the same universe as Predator Badlands. And ever since the trailer dropped, there's been several things coming out, as you see here, we're going to cover. And we covered this, and we said this during the trailer review reaction. Is this now going to open up the door for the Alien Predator franchises to come back together again to have crossovers? And here we are. Just yesterday, we have an updated article coming out about this. And once we get done going through this article, we are going to go back and look at the IGN Alien Earth guide, the interactive terminal guide. We did review this earlier last week as well. Two more videos have released, or two more videos, we'll call them, have released, plus a new teaser trailer has released. So we're going to look at all that as well in this video. So we're going to jump right into this article before we get into those. So as I was just mentioning, as you see here, rumor will a Predator appear in the Alien Romulus sequel? I think if it's going to happen, if we're going to get a crossover, that's probably where we're going to get it. And it probably will be at the end of the film, or probably the last, I'd say, 30 minutes of the film, where, you know, whoever the survivors still are, whoever characters we're going to be bringing from the previous film into this one, plus any new ones, will probably come across some relic, whether it's a a Predator mask, or his weapons, or something, a skeleton, something they'll come across. They won't know what it is. And as we continue on, I'm sure then in the last 2-3 minutes, a Predator will show up, or we'll hear its like voice, that little crackling thing it does with its voice. And we'll hear that, and it will set up probably after the Alien Romulus 2. We'll probably end up getting the crossover for Predator and Alien, especially since Predator Badlands will already be out by that point, and the animated and 3-part anthology or 3-part series will already be out as well by that point. So while this is probably going to be years away, this is just already starting to set it up. So hopefully this time they can get it right, because the first 2 times, in my opinion, they missed the mark completely on it. So director Fede Alvarez contribution to the Alien franchise, Alien Romulus, was a success, so it's no surprise to hear just a couple of months after the film's theatrical release that 20th Century Studios was working with Alvarez to develop a sequel to the film. The director has previously said that the sequel will, quote, go into uncharted waters. I think it'll be so exciting to go with characters from Alien Romulus to a place in the Alien franchise that we've never been before, and to discover things that you've never seen before. Now a rumor has emerged that the film might be a bit of a crossover with another 20th Century Studios property, as Predator could show up in it. Earlier this week, we saw the trailer, which we just talked about as well, and that hits theaters November 7th. And that movie features Ellie Fanning as a synthetic character. Actually, we hear she's playing synthetic twin characters created by the Weyland-Yutani company from the Alien franchise. While discussing that trailer on an episode of the Hot Mic podcast, industry scooper Jeff Snyder revealed, quote, I am told that the script for Fede Alvarez follows up to Alien Romulus features a Predator. Okay. When his co-host John Rocha reacted to that, he reiterated, I hear there is a Predator in the Alien Romulus follow-up. They're doing it. I don't know if Fede Alvarez Alien Romulus sequel is an Alien vs. Predator movie, or if it's just an Alien movie, and then at the end a Predator comes in setting up an Alien. So that's exactly what I was just saying. The only way that they're probably going to do this, in order to, one, capitalize on a sequel to Alien Romulus, is have an Alien Romulus sequel completely about that story, And then in the last 3 to probably 5 minutes, they somehow bring in the predator, and again they either hear the cackling of its voice, or you see like its camouflage on, you see the distortion on the screen, so you know it's a predator. And then next thing you know, the screen will go black. Or they might do it as a mid-credit, post-credit sequence that's probably like 30 to 45 seconds, where we'll see something like that, right? I think that will probably be the most lucrative way that they'll do this, instead of losing it losing that potential profit, turning Alien Romulus 2 into an Alien versus Predator film. Why do that? Just have them as two separate films. Of course, this wouldn't be the first movie to feature both aliens and predators, as we previously got 2 crossover movies, which were absolute trash. Alvarez was already taking out the possibility of another Alien Predator crossover when Alien Romulus was released, and he even teased that he could rope Prey and Predator Badlands director Dan Trachtenberg into doing it with him. He told Deadline, "Maybe it's something I have to co-direct with my buddy Dan. Maybe we should do like Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez did with From Dusk Till Dawn. I'll direct a half and he'll direct another half. It depends on how well this Romulus does, if people want to see that." Goes on to say a bit more here. Probably it wouldn't be in the way. Let's see. A couple of months later, 20th Century Studio President Steve Asbell was asked if we'll eventually see another Alien vs. Predator. And this quote is, probably, it wouldn't be in the way you think. That's the thing. Not in the way that it will just be called Alien vs. Predator or anything like the original movies. If we do this, they'll be organically created out of these 2 franchises that we've continued with characters that we fall in love with, and those characters will combine perhaps. But we haven't gotten to that point, and we're just going to bang it out. And I think that might be the end of the article. I mean, that's pretty much the end of it. Yeah. So again, I think it's going to happen. Otherwise, why put that Easter egg in the Predator Badlands trailer? There'd be no point in having that in there if they weren't alluding to this going to happen in the future. Now, even if Alien Romulus 2 is not a massive success, even if it's a mediocre success, they're going to push through with this, right? I mean, there's much money that they're putting behind the Alien IP and the Predator IP now. It would make sense that they're going to try to bring these 2 back together, since it's under the same umbrella as far as studio goes. All right, so let's jump over now to the latest. Let's jump over to. Let's see here. We're going to jump over to the latest teaser trailer, and then we're going to jump into the IGN, guide, the Alien Earth dashboard terminal thing, and see what new videos are there. So let's pull up the trailer and see what they're going to give us.
This ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe. Each one a unique, deadly species. Monsters.
So that was quick. That was literally 27 seconds. Now, one thing, if you did hear back, and let me see if I can cue it back up. When he said that there were other deadly species, and in those boxes, it looked like there were various different, they looked like face huggers a little bit, but they also didn't look like the traditional face hugger that results in a xenomorph that we know and love, right? As far as when we saw like the traditional xenomorph on top of one of those boxes, there was at least, there was 3 in the center, and there were 2 off to the side, and then in each one of those there was something. What they're alluding to is a different species. Now I'm wondering if, obviously someone, I can't imagine the alien xenomorph is smart enough, to do all this. So obviously somebody, synthetic or not, is involved in this to capture whatever species, getting it impregnated with the xenomorph embryo, and then putting it in these boxes. Or maybe the face hugger has changed. They've somehow changed the DNA of the traditional face hugger, and that's what's in these boxes. It's a different type of species compared to the traditional one. So that's gonna be interesting as well. So There is an article on this for this teaser trailer as well. So we're going to pull up the article, go through that real quickly here. So here's the article that teaser was attached to. So celebrate Alien Day with a new official poster and teaser trailer for Alien Earth, which is the teaser we just watched, and this got published this morning. So it's April 26th, which means it's Alien Day, an annual celebration of the Alien franchise and its many horrific delights. This year in particular, a special Alien Day because the franchise's first ever television series is headed our way in just a matter of months, and who's using the day as an excuse to unleash a bunch of brand new marketing materials for Alien Earth. Give me a full trailer already. I'm tired of this. It's cool to see. Don't get me wrong. That's why we're covering it. That's why we're talking about it, because I'm highly, highly interested in seeing the series. I have been ever since we got the announcement, but I want to see a full trailer. The little tidbits, 27 seconds, 25 seconds teasers, they're becoming daunting now. Even though we're watching them, even though they look really good, I want to see a full trailer already. Check out the new official trailer for Alien Earth below, along with the teaser, which we just watched. A voice narrates over the new footage. Quote, this ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe, each one a unique deadly species monsters. So that's what I was just talking about. So I think when you looked at them, especially that one box in the center, when it jumped at like the little glass door, it looked like it was a face hugger, but it's going to be a different species of one. So I'm wondering if we're going to see across this series all 5 of these unique species that are a crossbreed between whatever they are with a xenomorph, which will be pretty cool to see. Alien Earth is set before the events of the original Alien. I'm not going to. I will spare you all the soapbox speech that I have on that one specific point. You've heard me say it time and time again, so I'm not going to cover that off. We already know this next piece of information. The upcoming series premieres on Hulu in summer 2025. We already know all this. It's just a basic summary. Casting. This is the trailer, the teaser we just watched. I'll put the link for all these articles that we're covering this video in the description of this video. So if you want to check these out, you can do so. And then here is the new poster. Now, this poster kind of alludes to what I was just talking about. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to zoom in closely enough. So maybe so. So if you look here, this almost looks like an oversized like bee or wasp. So you'll see like where my cursor is, this leg goes out and down, over here out, and would probably go down. This looks like the back end of it. And if you look up here, like there's really closely like where my cursor is, it goes up and over this way, and then up and over this way. Like those look like those are wings, right? So I'm wondering if this is just a species that hasn't yet been crossbred with a face hugger, which then would be whatever it would happen once a face hugger got a hold of it, placed the embryo inside, and then once that xenomorph or that crossbreed xenomorph was born, what that would look like. I think that'd be pretty crazy, a flying xenomorph between the traditional alien like this and then something of like a massive wasp or bee that can fly. That would be interesting to see, but that's what that looks like to me as far as one of these monsters that has been captured. So let me zoom out real quickly here. So that's what that looks like to me. I don't know, you all can let me know what you think in the comment section, what it might look like to you. So let's pull up the interactive guide now. So that's the trailer. So that's this guy. So let's change over views. All right, so this is the Alien Earth interactive terminal, I should say. The last time we looked at this, I believe we had received logs 1 and 2. So we're gonna watch logs 3 and 4. Now this says log 5 is 0 days, 0 hours. So we're gonna click on this last one and see if that one's available. So let's click on log 3 here. Let me make sure. Hopefully the sound should come through, but let's see if there is any. All right, there we go. So, okay, so a very short one again. I am liking the amount of detail and special effects that are going into these logs. I think this looks really cool as far as the close up, where it's almost like the internals of a xenomorph forming and becoming born. So let's click on number 4. All right, bit of a different one. Gestation complete, danger imminent. So we have one more. Looks like it is available. So we are going to click on the 5th and final one, and then we'll. And I'm wondering real quickly here, if we just read the article and it mentions that there's these five monsters that have been collected across the darkest parts of the universe. I'm wondering if each log, since there's 5 logs, if each one of these represents the gestation of it. But I don't think it is, only because when we look at, for example, like this one here, gestation phase 1, right? Rapid cyctonesis. And then over here, the neurogenesis, hypertrophy. This one is morphogenesis. So I'm wondering if it could be either we're seeing this happen over 5 different monsters, or this is just the 5 stages of the xenomorph forming, or whatever this is going to be forming out to be. So, all right, let's click on this 5th one, the 5th and final one, and see if it's something updated. All right, so we have an updated page here. So it takes us to a new page. So yeah, so here again, we have 5 boxes. We can't really make out what's in these other ones, but this one, again, you have a better look at the legs. So there's 3 legs here, 3 here. It does look like there are wings on this one. So I'm thinking that's what this is. So let's scroll down. All right, so we have, so this one says, this must be the 5th and final one. All right. All right, and if you notice on that last bit, it said this is a new species, so that's going to be a new species detected. I think that was the warning message that it brought up. So that's going to be interesting. And it was obviously all happening within that box. So it looks like what they did was for the fifth and final log, they gave us all five together. The first four we've already watched separately, and then added the fifth and final one at the end of it. So if the series looks like this, especially in that fifth and final log clip, again, I'm all for this series. I have been since it got announced. The only hesitation I have is just the fact of how they're going to explain the story of this happening before the first film, when in the second film, the xenomorph had never been on Earth, and that's one of the things that they were trying to keep from happening. When Burke, the character Burke, played by Paul Reiser, he was trying to get both Ripley and Newt impregnated with those embryos, go to cryo freeze, get them back to the station by Earth, and then do tests and all those things and weaponize them. So if that was the case, then that would assume that these things had never been Earth, because again, that's what they were trying to prevent. But in this situation, this is happening all these decades beforehand. They've already been on Earth. So anyways, it's looking good. I'm excited to see this one, but again, just give me a full trailer. Give me some more substance instead of all these little logs and things like that. But otherwise, of all the teasers we've gotten thus far for this new series coming out to Hulu, I think these 5 logs have been the best as far as really showing you how, hopefully how dark this is going to be, especially for a science fiction horror. So anyways, that's going to do it for this horror news update for the Alien Earth new series franchise, maybe even turning into a franchise as far as multiple seasons coming to Hulu this summer. We only have a couple more months. Hopefully we'll get a date soon. So drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the 5 logs individually, but also as a combined, I guess, trailer itself. It was a little over 3 minutes. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.